afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. It's very well appreciated. Today I wanted to come on and talk about the Dallas Cowboys Miami Dolphins game. We did end up losing that game 20-22. I think the Cowboys played well in that game, and I don't want to make any excuses here. But again, as I said last week, any precipitation, the Cowboys don't play well in outdoor stadiums when it's raining and stuff like that. I don't want to say that was the reason that they lost the game, but it does contribute to how the Cowboys play on the field. So, competitive game, wasn't a blowout on either side. I think we got off to a great start other than the fumble. When we fumbled the ball at the 1-yard line, I think it changed the complexity of the game. The first two drives actually was pretty good drives by us. Our defense played well, and then things kind of went south from there. So Miami, I think they kind of spooked Dallas a little bit. On their first couple of drives, they were throwing 60-yard bombs down the field. Tyreek missed one, and I think Waddle caught one. But at that point, when Dallas, saw them doing that, they started playing off the wide receivers a little bit. I guess kind of in fear to keep the wide receivers from running past them on explosive plays, and they pretty much killed us just right across the middle there in the soft zone. We was playing so far off of them, but other than that, again, these haters, Cowboy haters especially, I was actually in a conversation with a fake Cowboy fans is what I call them, and people want to blame it on Dak. I think Dak played pretty well. He did have the game-winning drive for us to score to put us ahead, but then the defense couldn't stop nobody. So Dallas defense, people like to say we have a great defense. I think we have a bend, not break defense. That's what it looks like to me. When Miami got the ball at the end, I had no reason to think that Dallas defense would keep them out of field goal range. And that's basically what a bend, not break defense does. It will let them drive down the field, and it will stop them from scoring a touchdown. But, they just needed a field goal. They didn't need a touchdown. So I didn't have a lot of confidence that Dallas was going to keep them out of field goal range. And that's exactly what happened. They got in field goal range with 4 seconds left on the clock, kicked the field goal, went up 22-20, and we ended up losing that game. Michael Parsons came out. I just want to speak on Michael Parsons a little bit. He came out, called the refs out on this game, and I gotta say, I'm not the one that do a lot of complaining about the refs. I know the refs have been bad all over the NFL for all teams this year, but Michael Parsons have a point. I wanted to go back and take a look at some plays in the game, specifically the one where he hit Tua, and that wasn't a penalty. And that was a crucial down. I think it was in 4th down or 3rd and long, but it gave them a first down, and they end up scoring off of that penalty right there. So calls like that, I can see where Michael Parsons is frustrated. I really can. I mean, that last drive that Miami had, I counted, and I'm going to pull up a graphic here. I'm going to show you. I counted at least 5 times of where Michael Parsons was held. He wasn't only being held by one person. He was being held by 2 people at the same time, and still he didn't get any of those calls, and the refs are standing right there. CeeDee Lamb got held in the end zone. The guy liked to pull his pants down, and the ref was standing right there and didn't call it. So I typically don't talk about, the refs. We all know the refs are bad, but in this particular game, I think they called some calls that they shouldn't have called, and then missed some calls or just didn't call them, calls that was pivotal or helped determine the outcome of the game. And that's just my opinion of it. Again, don't want to make excuses. And you know, the ref, I know people do that. I don't typically do that, but in this particular case, I did see, you know, some really, really questionable calls by the refs, or no calls, for lack of a better word. Having said that, we're on a 2-game losing streak. Um, got Detroit coming in here next week, this week, in fact. Uh, Trying not to go on a 3-game losing streak. Philly been on a 3-game losing streak. San Francisco was on a 3-game losing streak, and we're on a 2-game losing streak, which I guess it looks like it's trending to be our turn now. But trying not to get that third loss, and you know, kind of stay stay in the NFC East race. But to be honest with you, it looks like, and it's probably going to happen more likely than not, Philadelphia is going to win the NFC East. So, Dallas Cowboys fans, we can just kind of get used to that. Philly is probably going to win the NFC East. And we're just going to have to go on the road. And that's been a real possibility. We all knew that probably about week 12, starting week 12, that the chances of Dallas winning the NFC East probably wasn't going to happen. So it's probably going to be Philadelphia, more likely than not. What I want to do now is take a look at the game stats. I like to take a look at the quarterbacks and see what the quarterbacks did, and you know, how each team passing game looked and how their running game looked, just to see how we stacked up against Miami from that perspective. Taking a look at the game stats, of course we lost 20-22. Dak Prescott was 20 for 32 with 253 yards, 2 TDs. He did not have an interception. Tua, 24 for 37, 293 with 1 TD, and I don't think he had an interception either. So quarterback comparison, pretty even. They both looked like they had a pretty good game from that quarterback perspective. Tony Pollard had 12 carries for 38 yards, and Raheem Mostert had 11 carries for 46 yards. So the running game, you know, wasn't really the reason why we lost this game. Again, there were some circumstances that I found interesting. You know, from the referee perspective. Again, I don't want to make excuses, but I mean, it is what it is. So, taking a look at the wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb was 6 receptions for 118 yards and 1 TD. Tyreek Hill had 9 receptions and 99 yards. So pretty even stats, you know, across the skill players. Nothing that just jumps off the page, you know, just by looking at the stats to let you know how that game went. It looks pretty even. It did come down to a field goal at the end. In other NFL news, we had the Eagles playing the G-Men yesterday. They ended up winning that game 25-33. Right at the end, it looked like the Eagles did everything they could to give the game to the Giants, but they still ended up winning the game 25-33. So congrats to the Eagles on that. They are in first place in the NFC East, and probably will remain there throughout the remainder of the season. Last night we had a game between San Francisco and Baltimore. Baltimore pretty much smashed the unbeatable 49ers. The score was 33-19. Score doesn't tell what that game looked like or how that game went down. It wasn't that close. They dominated the ball on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. Game was pretty much over in the third quarter. You can see them kind of let off the gas a little bit, and San Francisco tried to make a run, and you can tell when they got back on the gas and kind of held them off a little bit. So Lamar Jackson played amazing. Brock Purdy not so much. He had 4 interceptions. Their backup quarterback came in and he threw an interception. So 5 turnovers from San Francisco 49ers. They end up losing 33-19. Having said that, San Francisco is still number 1 in the NFC. By them losing didn't change a thing. So they're number 1 at this point. Philly is number 2, and we're number 5 in the NFC. So that's pretty much what I have for today. Next week I will, and it's probably going to be a Tuesday. I try to wait till after the Monday night game to actually come back on. So I will come on and talk about the Detroit Dallas game. I do predict Dallas is going to win that game. Detroit is a fraud to me. I don't think they're good, but I don't think they're on the tier of a Dallas, Philadelphia, or San Francisco. So, and I think that game is on a Saturday night instead of Sunday. So, but I'll be back next week to do a post analysis on that game. So that's all I have for you today. Please hit the like button, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. Again, it's very, very well appreciated. And I'll be back next week to preview the Detroit-Dallas game. See you guys later.